Okay, so we're going to start taking a look at the cathedrals now and why the Orion Nebula is placed where they are inside these cathedrals. As you know, I've been showing you this now for about 3 years, and I still welcome anybody to debate me or create an analysis video to show me differently, but it's not going to happen because it can't be debunked at this point. We've already covered the creation of Adam, and we have shown all the way down to the detail how that is a brain. And we're going to see why now that these temple designs or these cathedral designs, why it makes sense that they're laid out as far as the human body and where the Orion Nebula is placed. This particular cathedral that you're looking at right here is called Karlskirche. It's located in Vienna, Austria. And it is the first cathedral where I found the Orion Nebula inside it. You guys probably remember a long time ago. And many people didn't believe me until I started showing all the repeatability that it exists in all of these different cathedrals. This is the first one, and this right here that you're looking at here is the high altar. So what we're going to do is, this is the floor plan for Karlskirche. Now what I've got is I've got several different layouts of the human body, and what we can also do is we can take a look at these various cathedrals as I've shown you. That's the Church of the Jesu on top of it. This is Amiens Cathedral. You can see the layout is the same. We have the porch, and then we have these areas that come in. This is the main body, which is the body of the human body. And then up here where the high altar is, the high altar is the area that represents the head. And so, since we're interested in Karlskirche, which is this cathedral right here, I'm going to show you several different layouts of the human body on this so that you can see that it actually fits in here. This round circle right here is actually from the bottom of the rib cage to the top of the rib cage and contains the heart and the lungs and everything like this. This area up here is the area that contains the head, and you'll see how it fits in there just perfectly. And in all of these, including the Temple of Luxor, which Ari Schwaller de Lubitsch showed us, the porch area, including what we see in Solomon's Temple, for example. If we put Solomon's Temple up, this porch area is where the base of the sacrum is. So right here we have the base of the sacrum, and then we have the porch leading out. So now let's take a look at Karlskirche. So let's take a look at a couple of things. Let's take a look at the backbone first of all. Here is a picture of the backbone on top of this, and you can see how the rib cage fits inside of there, and the neck goes up all the way to the top. I've got one which is a whole body scan. This is from an MRI. So these are actual real MRI images, so you know that the phi is going to be correct and everything. And if we take the Karlskirche and we move the opacity down, you can still see that same oval ring outlining the rib cage of that person. And you can see how his face or his head sits right inside where the high altar is. That is where the high altar is located, is right here. Now, so with that in mind, let me show you what we have going on here, because this is Karlskirche. And if we were to look at Karlskirche like this, where the high altar is this right here, and this is the Orion Nebula. The Orion Nebula is located where the head is. Now why does this make sense? It makes sense because we already know that from Michelangelo's painting that he painted the Orion Nebula and he painted a brain. So if we take a look inside these cathedrals and these temples, we're going to see the Orion Nebula located where the head is. The close-up version of the Orion Nebula is going to be where the head is. And that's what we see right here. Now, to show you the match of the Orion Nebula, here's Karlskirche and here's the Orion Nebula. You guys have seen this image many times. So what this is telling us then is it's telling us the Orion Nebula corresponds to the head, and we already know this from the creation of Adam and from Plato and from many other things. The demiurge, for example. If we take a look at the demiurge, this is the demiurge. This is Yaldabaoth, right? And we saw Yaldabaoth right here, which is a copy of the Orion Nebula. Represents mind, or it represents the demiurge. If we take a look at demiurge right here, and we take a look at Neoplatonism, we can see that Plato's demiurge, which as demiurge and mind, so the Orion Nebula is once again referenced as mind again. So when we take a look in these cathedrals, like Karlskirche, like the first one I showed you, which shows the Orion Nebula right where the head is in the high altar, now you know why. And I also have another one with a skeleton. And you can see how the rib cage fits in there just perfectly. And how the shoulders fit in there just perfectly and everything. So this is Karlskirche. This is going to be the first one. I'm going to do several of these because I'm going to show repeatability. It's not just happening in Karlskirche. It's happening in the Church of the Jesuit, which we'll go over last because there's a lot to show there. I'm going to show you in Chapel of Versailles in France. And I'm going to show you the other places it's located. I cannot get the floor plans for St. Mary's Church right now, but I'm willing to bet that the floor plan is probably the same. But the Orion Nebula always ends up right here in the head. And here is an example, like in St. Peter's Basilica, which we'll show that one next. We'll see in these two images here how the same type of imagery that we see right here is showing up in these cathedrals, and it's always placed in the high altar, and the high altar is in the head. So what we have going on here is a very esoteric and Gnostic understanding that's been confirmed by Templars, if you remember, that backed me up on the things that I had been finding, that shows the Orion Nebula and its relationship as the macrocosm to us. So if we think about the macrocosm, and this dates all the way back to ancient Egypt, we can see it all over the place. But this is what they're showing us. The macrocosm version of us, which is a collective unity of all of humanity, represents the first man, Adam, and that first man, Adam, is the brain. Christ is the head of the church. See, we see here Christ is also the head of the church, which is his body. He is the beginning, supreme over all who rise from the dead. So when we think about Christ being the head of the church, that's exactly what we're looking at right here, the head of the church and its correspondence to the Orion Nebula. So I'll be showing you guys more here pretty soon. Y'all take care. I'll talk to you soon.